આજનું લીગલ ટોપિક છે વેજ structuring in India, that is navigating the new labor codes and taxation rules. Now see, the landscape of the wage structuring in India has undergone a significant transformation with the enactment of 4 new labor codes, that is Codes on Wages 2019, Codes on Social Security 2020, Industrial Relation Codes 2020 and Occupational Safety, Health and Working Condition Codes 2020. These codes consolidate multiple fragmented labor laws into a unified framework, aiming to simplify the compliance and enhance the employees' social security and protection, and standardize the calculation of salary and other benefits. Whereas these labor codes are primarily they are the labor welfare statutes, but they have a far-reaching impact on the payroll structures and statutory contributions and income tax management that affects both the employees and employers. હવે જો આ વિડીયો છે ને 5 પાર્ટમાં બનાવીશ. આજના આ જે પણ હું પાર્ટ 1 બનાવું છું પછી બધાનું જ હું તમને મિનિંગ પાર્ટ 2 માં એક્સપ્લેન કરી દઈશ. કોન્સોલિડેટ એટલે ટુ બ્રિંગ ટુગેધર. હા, નાવ સી અન્ડરસ્ટેન્ડિંગ ધ શિફ્ટ, દેટ ઇઝ મલ્ટિપલ ફ્રેગમેન્ટેડ લેબર લોઝને કેમ યુનિફાઈડ ફ્રેમવર્કમાં મૂક્યું છે. ધ કી ઓબ્જેક્ટિવ્સ આર દેટ ઇઝ કોન્સોલિડેટિંગ ધ વેજ રિલેટેડ લોઝ to remove the interpretational inconsistencies and establishing and introducing like a uniform statutory definition of wages that is applicable across all the codes, and to limit the proportion of allowances and excluded components for the salary calculation, and enhancing the employees' protection, social security, gratuity, other benefits. Now, what is the meaning of what is the definition of wages? Statutory definition of wages and 50% threshold શું છે. Now see, according, that is the Codes on Wages 2019 and Codes on Social Security 2020. According to this, the components that are included in the definition of wages are basic pay, dearness allowance and retaining allowance wherever applicable, and the components that are excluded from the definition of wages are commission, overtime wages, incentive, bonus, house rent allowance, gratuity, employees contribution to the provident fund, conveyance allowances, travel reimbursement and other amenity based payments. Now what is the 50% threshold? The critical feature of this new labor code is 50% threshold, that is under section 2 subsection y. The section 2 subsection y, the total value of the excluded components cannot exceed 50% of the cost to the company or employees total remuneration, and if that total value of the excluded components exceeds this limit, the excess will automatically become part of the statutory wages except the gratuity and retrenchment compensation. Now see, according to the one of the case, that is the Regional Provident Fund Commissioner versus Vivekanand Vidya Mandir and others, the Supreme Court has held that the uniform allowances that are not linked to the performance, special skills and output must be included into the definition of basic wages for the provident fund computation. Artificial segregation to reduce the statutory contribution was disallowed. Now see, these new labor codes do not directly alter the Income Tax Act 1961, but they have significant indirect consequences on this Income Tax Act 1961. That is, interaction between the new labor codes and the Income Tax Act 1961 is that the taxation of salary continues under section 15, 16, 17 of Income Tax Act, and these codes have their impact on the payroll structure, so which changes the base figure of the taxable salary, exemption and deduction, and employers may witness increased taxable salary and altered TDS obligation, and employers do witness increased taxable salary and altered TDS obligation, even though the definition of salary remains the same under the taxation law, legal definition of salary. Now see, the key tax implication are that the more components may be classified as wages, increasing the taxable salary, and components like HRA may yield lower tax benefits. Now, when the basic pay rises, and employers must recalculate the monthly TDS to align with the revised salary structure. Now I'll be explaining what is all the meaning. બધા meaning સમજાવું. What is exemption and deduction in labor laws? Exemption, so deduction એટલે શું? એમ્પ્લોયની સેલેરીમાંથી જે અમુક કોમ્પોનન્ટ સબસ્ટ્રેક્ટ થાય એ હોય ડિડક્શન. એક્ઝમ્પશન એટલે સ્પેસિફિક રિલીફ જે એમ્પ્લોયની સેલેરીમાં મળે. દેટ ઇઝ ધ સ્પેસિફિક કોમ્પોનન્ટ્સ જેના પર ટેક્સ નથી લાગતું. દેટ ઇઝ એક્ઝમ્પશન. Now what is threshold? Threshold in labor law is the specific legal minimums that is based on the employees count, firm size and wages that decides the specific employment regulation that will apply to the business. This limit triggers the employer's obligations like the formal employment contracts, restrictions on layoff and the social security contributions. Okay, now what is basic pay? Basic pay means the fixed core income that an employee earns before any deduction and before any addition and subtraction. Addition એનું હોય bonus and allowance, deductions એનું હોય taxes નું. Now see, this is basic pay. What is DA? Dearness allowance is what? Dearness allowance is an extra compensation given by the government to the employees and pensioners to interact to pensioners to counteract with the effect of inflation on the quality of their life. What is retaining allowance? Retaining allowance is a fixed amount that is paid by the employers to the employees during the off season, neither the પછી જ્યારે the work is temporarily unavailable, so that their names do remain on the to retain the employees on the company roll. Company roll એટલે શું? Those employees that are directly hired by the firm, company or organization rather than the third party agencies. What is payroll? Payroll structure. Payroll એટલે total amount of money that is paid by the company to its employee. Now what is gratuity? Gratuity is a monetary token of appreciation given to the employees for their work જેને at least 5 continuous years of service પ્રોવાઈડ કરી છે કંપનીમાં, and the gratuity is provided at the time of retirement, resignation, death or any disablement. આગળ આપણે ગ્રેજ્યુએટીનું ડિટેલ્સમાં જવાનું છે આજમાં. What is employers provident fund? That is what is employers contribution to the provident fund is that the 12% of the basic salary plus DA. That is the employers contribute from the employee's salary to the EPF, that is the employees provident fund. That is 3% around 3% or something more around goes to the employees provident fund, and 8% and something around capped at monthly 12,1250. That monthly that much money it goes to the employees pension scheme. Now what is provident fund? Provident fund is a government based compulsory saving scheme that provides financial security to the employees after the retirement, and for this what happens that the employee and employer contributes a specific percentage from the salary of the a fixed percentage from the salary that is accumulated with the interest. An example છે EPF and PPF. Now what is the meaning? આટલા meaning તો મેં સમજાવ્યા છે. હવે આગળ કોઈ meaning આવશે તો હું તમને બધું ડિટેલ્સમાં આગળ સમજાવીશ. ઠીક છે? તો compliances એટલે કે laws and regulations. ઠીક છે? તો I hope it was helpful. હવે આગળ part 2, part 3 અને part 4 કરશું. Now see, one more meaning, that is difference between salary and wages. Salary is a fixed regular payment given for the professional work. જેમાં hours count નથી થતા. But what is wage? Wage is paid on the basis of hours, like weekly. તમે કેટલા કલાક કામ કર્યું છે, weekly, daily, overtime, એવી રીતે. And salary provides us stability and income benefit, whereas the wages they provide flexibility and less predictable income. What is house rent allowance? House rent allowance is that is a component that is provided from the employee's salary to the employee by the employer for the house rental housing expenses, and that also they with the taxation benefits under section 10 subsection 13A of the Income Tax Act 1961. This is what is house rent allowance. Okay, please do like, share and subscribe my channel.